Ah. What is business asset disposal relief when you are selling a business? Business asset disposal relief is a taxable benefit that the UK government currently has in place for business owners when they sell their business. Now, there are a few rules when it comes down to business asset disposal relief, which we will go into. But as always, when it comes down to tax, check with a qualified tax accountant for what you may be eligible for in this current period. Now, before we get into the details of business asset disposal relief, if you're thinking of selling your UK business, click the link in the description to book a confidential call in which we can discuss your upcoming business sale. So at the time of making this video, business asset disposal relief is available for entrepreneurs when they sell their business and they qualified for a reduced tax rate. So normally, if you sell a business or if you sell an asset in the UK, you have to pay CGT, capital gains tax. Capital gains tax at the time of making this video is 18% if you're a basic rate taxpayer or 24% if you're a higher rate taxpayer. However, business asset disposal relief gives you slightly lower rates of tax when you sell qualifying business assets or shares. At the time of making this video, business asset disposal relief is currently 14% until the 5th of April 2026, and from the 6th of April 2026, it's going to rise to 18%. But this could all change depending on the announcements that are made in upcoming budgets. So again, always check with a tax accountant. So there are the headline numbers for business asset disposal relief, but what are some of the other rules or eligibility criteria for you to qualify for this lower tax rate? The first thing is that you have to have owned the business for at least 2 years prior to the sale of the business. So if you've sold a business, you need to ensure that your 24 months has passed that you are the beneficial owner of that business. And in addition to the 24-month rule, you have to have owned at least 5% of that business. In addition to owning the business for at least 2 years and owning at least 5% of the business, you can only qualify for business asset disposal relief if you make the claim within that tax year. So that would be, for argument's sake, if you've sold a business in 2026, you have to make the qualifying claim by the 31st of January 2027 for you to get the reduced rate. There's also an upper limit when it comes down to business asset disposal relief, and that is you can only claim business asset disposal relief up to £1 million of the sale of a business, and that's across a lifetime. So let's take a scenario here. The first scenario is, let's say you've sold your business for £2 million and you've never sold a business before in your life. The first £1 million of that is charged at either 14% or 18%, depending on when you're making the claim. And then the remaining 1 million of that 2 million is taxed at the normal capital gains tax rate. So as you can see, it's limited to up to £1 million of total sale value of a business. Therefore, if you're selling a business for under £1 million, then you could qualify for business asset disposal relief quite easily. What kind of businesses can you sell to qualify for business asset disposal relief? Firstly, you can sell a limited company, which is the most common way of selling a business and then qualifying for the relief. But you can also be part of a partnership and sell your partnership business, and you could qualify for business asset disposal relief. When it comes down to any type of other entity, then definitely check with your tax accountant, because there are other ways that you may be able to qualify for that. In any case, business asset disposal relief is something that could save you tens of thousands of pounds when you are paying your tax bill and you're selling your business. So definitely check in whether you can qualify. On this channel, we cover everything from buying and selling businesses. So if you want to sell a business, then continue to watch videos on this channel, and I will see you in the next video.